All right, so I'm here with Sarah. So Sarah, thank you for joining me today. You reached out on and commented on one of my videos. And why did you do that?
So I seen your videos. I was watching Soft White Underbelly, and they interview people that have addictions. And I came across your videos, and as I was watching them, I noticed that all of the people that you were interviewing were addicted to a drug that I have been addicted to, and that I would like to talk about and express my interaction with it and my story of what happened and how I got started and all that stuff. So thank you for having me.
So please share your story. What happened? At what age did you start using drugs? What was the drug? What occurred?
Okay, so I was 17 and, I was just experimenting just like any other kid. And I started experimenting with oxys. I thought it was, safe. They're from a doctor. They bought them from a person that gets a prescription. I thought it was safe. And I was just kind of dabbling in it just here and there when I was with friends. And the more I started using it, the more I used it as a crutch to hide things that I was going through, pain, stuff like that. And it just escalated from there. And I believe I was 25 years old when I first came in contact with what people call the Perk 30s. That's one thing I want to clarify. They are not Percocets. They are fentanyl, and they are highly addictive, way more addictive than, a Percocet or an Oxy. And a buddy told me it's just a strong Oxy. He didn't tell me what it was. And that's what started me on this terrible journey and relationship with this drug that was hard to get away from.
And what was your family life growing up?
So I witnessed a lot of violence. My parents were both alcoholics. My dad hit my mom, and more than hit, it was just like an almost every night thing. It was a lot of abuse that I seen, and nobody really talked to me about it. Nobody really expressed that it was wrong. I thought it was a normal thing. I grew up thinking that men hit women, and that's something that I've struggled with till this day, with trying to understand what's a normal relationship and how to go about my life, being as normal as I can, or, being a good person to my spouse or to my kids. It's a journey that I'm going through still.
And during your time using drugs, did you have any near-death experiences?
Yes. So about, I want to say 6 months to a year of using this drug, I overdosed and I almost died. And it still didn't stop me, to be honest. It didn't stop me.
And how did you get off of drugs? Like, what occurred? Did you go through treatment? What happened?
So whenever I had my first overdose, I told my family what was going on. They had no idea. Nobody knew that I was using. I kept it secret from everybody. I kept it secret from my parents. When I was using the oxys, I want to express that it made me feel like I was doing fine. I wasn't drinking. I was coherent. I was able to clean my house, take care of my kids, go to work. And I was able to live, my life with nobody knowing. But as soon as I started using the fentanyl, as you see people, they're, nodding off, they can't even keep their eyes open. And, that's what started happening with me. And it was very scary because I didn't know what was going on at the time. I didn't, I've never experienced that. I've never done heroin. I went straight from the oxys to the fentanyl pills, which, they say fentanyl is a lot stronger than heroin. And so I told my parents, and my sister actually helped me get into an outpatient rehabilitation center. I did that for a little bit, but I couldn't stay doing the classes and all of that because, I have 2 kids. I don't really have a family support system that, helps me with my kids too much. So shortly after, it was not very long after that I started using again. And then I believe I had another overdose. And then that's when I got onto the methadone program. And that's what really helped me. And I would just like to express that methadone, you know, some people say, oh, people still get high off of it. You can, but the way that I did it and the way I became clean was I started at 60 milligrams. I never went higher. And throughout the year, I went down every single week, couple weeks, what I felt was comfortable for me until I was completely off of it.
And how long did that take from when you started until you were clean off of it? How long was that period?
It took a little over a year. I feel like still, you know, I'm over a year sober. It's still a daily struggle. It's still, you know, you still have those times when you have bad days and you're like, oh, I could just do this and all my pain goes away and I don't have to think about anything. But it's a lifelong deal with the devil. You know, it makes you feel good and all your pain is away, but all the pain that comes with it is way more. And, you know, your parents and your kids and everybody sees, you know, things like you overdosing and spending all your money on it. If I would have stayed on that drug, I would definitely be homeless because of you're willing to do anything for it. You need it and you'll spend all your money on it. And I wouldn't have been able to keep my job because I would have been out of it. You can't even have a conversation with your eyes open to, you know, an employer is not going to want you to work for them in that condition.
So during the time that you were a user for all those years, were you ever like out on the streets, like the folks that I interview, like they're just completely out in the streets and just, it was that you or no?
I didn't get to the point. I could have if I would have stayed on it longer. Definitely I could have, but I didn't get to that point, thank God, and luckily I didn't. But I could have seen in my future that would have definitely been something that would have happened to me.
And speaking of your struggles daily, so does watching like the videos that I upload when I'm interviewing people, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel that I don't want to go back to that. I don't want that to be my life. I have 2 children that really depend on me. Like I said, I don't really have that much of a family support system. So, I mean, just watching that is just a reminder of where I could be and to be thankful to God and thankful that for the program that I was on, that I didn't go down that path because I very easily could have.
Yeah, so you're absolutely correct. And thankfully you didn't go down that route. But what would you advise parents or the youth out there, like young folks that are, 15, 16, 17, like you, and you were influenced by your friends? What would you tell them, advise them?
I would advise them to not try any drug that they don't know what it is, because I feel like now, I started years back, 10 years, and they didn't have, fentanyl wasn't available like it is now. I feel like now fentanyl is like the oxys were. You could get oxys all the time. Now it's fentanyl. And I feel like you should really do your research on a drug, or just don't succumb to the peer pressure, because it is a lifelong battle. I would compare doing a fentanyl pill to making a deal with the devil that you're going to have to pay for the rest of your life. Even if you get clean, even if you get sober, I could sit here and tell you that it's an everyday lifelong battle that you don't have to fight if you never try that. And it's not even worth one try, because like I said, it's a lifelong, everyday battle that you are going to have to fight. And it's terrible.
Me going out there driving around, I really see that this epidemic of blues, fentanyl, pills, is really affecting the minority community tremendously, right? So I see a lot of Black folks, a lot of Hispanic folks out there.
Right.
So that's something that we as a community need to step up and help educate ourselves, right, on the effects of what drugs do to families, to individuals, to entire communities, right, for the sake of our future, right? So by you
Yes.
sharing your story, right, letting them know how drugs can impact a person, you know, like you at that age, and the struggles that you have to deal with 10 years later, right, where every day afterwards, even though you're clean, even though you have kids, you're married, but there's still a struggle every day where if you're having a bad day, you think about it, right? And
Yeah.
so that's unfortunate, but I think you seem like a courageous young lady that is working, battling those demons every day, focusing on your children, right? And keeping that stuff away. But prevention is always key, right? Don't
Right.
try it and then you don't have to deal with it, right?
Exactly. And that's what I want to express, because we could say, oh, this is a 10-year, you know, thing that you went through. It's really a lifelong, you know, thing that I put myself through. And that's why I want to express to the kids out there that you need to really think about it, you know, think about your family, think about your future. There's goals that I have that I can't say, I'm not going to say I can't. I feel like I will accomplish these goals. It's just going to take a lot longer, because like right now I deal with severe anxiety because of this. Every day is a battle. Sometimes I can't even go outside, you know, and talk to people because of the anxiety that I've gotten from the long-term drug use. And, you know, you go through depression because it makes you feel so high and happy that when you're not on it, you feel totally empty and broken and not yourself. You don't even know who you are. So I would just like to express to the kids out there that it's not even worth one try to ruin your life, and, you know, and pause your goals or not even accomplish them if you stay on this path. It's just definitely not worth it. Not even once.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so I'm glad that you contacted me. We're talking and you're sharing your story so that hopefully one person out there that watches this is going to be impacted and affected by this to make good decisions going forward when they are presented with, you know, hey, try this, by their friend, by their, you know, friends, right? So friends, family, neighbors that'll they go to a party and they're offered, you know, this pill or that pill. Just don't try it, right? Because you're going to ruin your life. So it takes a lot of courage for somebody to speak to a stranger, a bunch of strangers on YouTube, you know, because thousands of people all over the world are going to see this video. But that takes courage, and hopefully that's a little bit of therapy for yourself, right? Know that through your trials and tribulations in your life, you're going to help somebody in the future, right? By sharing your story so that they don't experience what you experience. So that takes a lot of courage. Your family should be proud of you, your kids. And I just want to say thank you. If you guys have any questions for Sarah, she is a subscriber, so she'll reply to your comments on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I want to say thank you, Sarah. Maybe we'll do a follow-up if these folks want to talk to you again. So thank you for doing this. We couldn't talk in person because I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and you're somewhere in New Mexico, right? So thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I love your channel. Thank you for having your channel. I think it's very important for people to see this and to know about this, because it is a very terrible epidemic that is happening, and everybody should be aware about it.
Appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.